Hey guys, Corey here with the Ugly Bug Fly Shop and Crazy Rainbow Fly Fishing, and today I'm going to tie you my Fetty foam mouse. I originally tied this pattern for Vance here, the Ugly Bug, to take to Conchopka as a topwater pattern. As you'll notice, anything that goes to Conchopka used as a topwater pattern must have an upturn hook. So we're going to go ahead and tie this for you. First thing I'm going to do here is insert. I'm going to use an Arex 1/0 trout predator hook. And go ahead and clamp this guy right in here. What I like to do is put this thing in upside down first, because we're going to take our black barred rabbit strip and cut a little section of it off here, and we're going to come up to about the halfway point, or about a ½ inch, poke it right through. And then we can do is we can actually start our thread base here, and I'm just using some Ultra Thread 210 in black, something a little thick but not too thick. You get a little too thick with your thread, and when you're tying in the fettuccine foam, it tends to maybe cut the fettuccine foam. So I'm just kind of going light, and kind of get this guy tied in here. Try to keep these hairs out of the way. Alright. I like to kind of get this in a position here, kind of pull these errant hairs out of the way. We're going to go ahead and tie this guy right in here. Nice 3 or 4 good wraps. I'm going to go ahead and lock it down here and bring this back forward. I'm going to do the same thing up here. Get some of these hairs out of the way. That way I don't trap a whole lot of them, even though I'm sure it's probably going to happen. Tie these guys right in here. Build myself a little dam, and then we can go ahead and whip finish that. So that's going to be our rear portion of the hook there. Great little pattern here for top water if you're doing any mouse stuff. The whole thing's pretty much foam, so it just floats like crazy. Alright, give this guy a cut. What we can do is take a little super glue. I like to super glue some of this stuff. So we're just going to go ahead and dip some super glue right in there. Perfect. There we go. So there's that portion. Now I'm actually going to switch my vice jaws here. This makes it a little bit easier to do the next step. So I'm going to do, this is a 35mm fish skull shank. Actually come in here and get this bad boy right in there. Just like that. I'm going to go ahead and tie this, get this right in here, and get this to hold nice and tight. You want this to be as tight as you can get it, because you're really just grabbing just the end of that. And I'll show you why. When you start this, to pinch this guy right down and add super glue right away. So it's important with this, when we tie these guys on, these shanks, especially on this pattern, that I tie as far up this as I possibly can. And what that does is it keeps the actual hook eye from getting kind of caught up in that loop. Forces it to stay in a certain spot. If you don't tie this all that far back or even further, what will happen, that hook will kind of get hung up in that shank. So I'm going to actually add a little bit super glue to each side of this. Really kind of lock those thread wraps down in there. We're just going to put another layer of thread right over the top here. Really kind of lock all this jazz down in here. Perfect. Alright. Next step, kind of fold this over. Now when I bring this over, I want there to be a little loop, because I want there to be a little bit of movement. So about there, I think is going to be good. Not too worried about capturing a lot of hair fibers in this one, but just to get it nice and snug on here is key. There we go. Just like that. Perfect. So we got our little tail there, and that hair will get wet and kind of slick out and form a nice little tail for this pattern. There we go. Got a lot of movement here. Nothing hindering you. Perfect. So now this is where we start our fettuccine foam. So what I did is I took a brown fettuccine foam and a root beer. And what I've done is I've folded them in half right out of the package and cut them. Just like this. So you got a bundle. And I'll take, what I do is I grab one of each color. Just like this. Don't worry, you know, you're going to trim these down. Don't worry too much about the sizes. And what I do is I come up here, some light wraps, fold them over, a couple wraps. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually work this forward. You do this a few times, you kind of get quick at it. Just kind of pulling them just like that. And we just work our way right around here. Just like this. This is kind of something takes a little bit to get used to. And genuinely what you're going to end up doing is you end up kind of working your way forward as you go. If you try to stack them all the way on top of each other all the way around, it's going to make it a little bit hard on you and it's going to frustrate you. So I kind of just slowly work my way forward with these. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. Hopefully everybody's having a great winter season of tying. I know it's been we've had a great little winter season here at the Ugly Bug. We had a really fun little fly tying event at our local brewery that was kind of a hit that we're going to be doing next year, and it's just been all out pretty good winter. Guide season's right around the corner. I know a lot of our guides are starting to get excited for that. Starting to see kind of them get their guide trips starting to book up, and it's getting to be that time of the year. So if you guys haven't been out here to fish the North Platte River, definitely something that should be on your bucket list to do as a fly fisherman. We have incredible accommodations, great guides. We have probably one of the best group of guides you could imagine being around. We're all get along really, really well. We're all, for the most part, friends and just have a lot of fun together. So, Alright, so now I've kind of put a couple layers of this foam in. The next step in my process, I'm going to really tie this off here, just like this. Next step for me here is to tie in these legs. So what I've done is I've taken some, these are medium round brown rubber legs. I pull 3 of them off together and I tie a little knot. You can kind of cinch that knot up and generally cinch it up a few times and it won't undo itself. So you're going to tie these in a little bit longer than you think. You know, I want about an inch or even a little bit more of an inch coming off here. And I like to kind of pinch these, and a real good way to tie these is to just do some nice soft wraps, kind of get it where you want it, and then you can really kind of pinch these down. Just like this. There we go. And you can kind of manipulate these legs however you need to, get them where you want them. I generally try to tie them in so the little legs pointing down. Kind of try to match the length as best you can. There we go, just like that. Cut off the rest left over here. Snip it right off of there. I'll actually kind of pull these back. There we go, just like that. Really tie these legs in there. There you go. Now you got your little rear mouse legs. So we're just going to keep stacking up foam here. Here, I'm actually going to whip finish this right off here. Whip finish this guy right off here, and then I'm going to use, this is what I use these Pro Sport Fisher Pro Soft Head. I take some liquid fusion, and I kind of get this liquid fusion nice and in here. Kind of just spread it around these thread wraps, just kind of like that. And what I'll actually do is I'll actually take this, cut just a little slit in each side here. I don't think it actually cut it for me, but it will. Kind of fold this out like this. Get this on here just like that. We're going to get some black thread on here. And this will build us up a dam, keep this thing from sliding off. I mean, I think that liquid fusion will do its job just fine, but I like to build a little dam on here. Just like this, gonna build this up. So get a nice little dam built. Whip finish this bad boy. Really tighten that down. Boom. Look at that. Next step, I take some UV flow. And build myself a nice little ramp on here. Just like this. Make this look all nice. There it is. Look at this. Perfect. So this is where I was talking to you guys earlier about being careful about these legs. So what I'll do, pull these legs down, find them. Should actually pull them kind of out of the way here. You know, find my, got 1, 2, 3. Missing, there's the other one. There it is, hiding from me. Trying to pull these out of the way. I'll actually pull these bottom ones. Make sure this is the bottom here. We're actually going to cut those right off. Kind of just trimming them really quick, pulling them up. Basically, we're making the bottom of our mouse pattern kind of flat. Something kind of flat to ride on here. And then I'll kind of final trim these guys here, just like that. Do the same thing. I'm going to pull these legs down out of the way here just to get them out of my way. Just like this. You can kind of see where they're at and kind of get them out of the way. Now what I'll do is I'll kind of come up here, and I like to cut these flush pretty much right behind, right where my connection's made. So sometimes you got to kind of start trimming these just kind of like there. Here it is. And then you can get closer. And you can like make this however size you want, you know. This is totally up to you. Beauty of tying flies. I get my kind of look at this guy dialed in just like that. And what I'll actually do is come in here and like kind of cut these guys. These longer ones. Kind of just like this. And I'll actually come in here, trim these ones kind of boop, boop, just like that. Just like that. I like it. Get these legs back up here. Get them where, especially those front ones. Those front ones will get, all that glue got pushed back. Some front ones will get locked in there. That glue, that liquid fusion. Boom. Like it. Next step. Get a little bit of, I just like this medium super glue. A lot of guys use the gel or whatever. Just use this medium super glue. Dab it in there. Glue these eyes on. Look at that. I'll actually take my UV flow, and I haven't had too many problems with this UV flow, but I have used Hairline's hardest hole to do this, and it's worked just as well, probably even better. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll even come through and use the hardest hole after I do this. This thing could burn. Do the same to this side. Kind of fill this eye in. Perfect, that one went quick, that's nice. Burn this in. Just kind of sit here and rotate this. I'm kind of fanatic with these guys. I mean, I feel like I could trim these guys all day, all night, get them where I want it. Kind of learn that like some of these guys can kind of be trimmed down here. Kind of be trimmed up, but it's pretty much essentially it. Trim away, kind of get it to the shape you want, but I really appreciate you guys joining us. As always, we really appreciate you guys taking care of your local fly shops, and sure hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for joining me. Bye.